Hello? Well, everybody hear me? Great. I'd like to tell you about my team, about CANToolz, and about car hacking. I know that you saw many car hacking stuff today and yesterday, and I try to show you some demonstration, not just theoretical stuff. So, my team contains now 15 members, but the main members you could see in that slide. So, CANToolz writer is Alexey Sentsov and Sergey Kononenko, and they're made really hard work, which help us to hack cars. So, if you like to go Moscow, come to our conferences, their nights and PhDs, or our DEFCON meeting. So it's some theoretical stuff. I wouldn't like to tell you about it because you know all that stuff. So how we found our first CAN bus? It was in a OBD. In a Honda Civic 9th generation, and we saw some packages about what happening in car. So RPM, engine turn on or off, some temperature, and so on. And I couldn't manipulate that traffic because it's just give your possibilities to read the traffic, and if you send some special commands, the gateway will open you firewall, and you could send some traffic, but it's not interesting. So here's the engine control unit, which we saw in our car, and it's of course has CAN bus, but not only CAN, it has other buses, but we are now constrained on CAN. So it's some theoretical stuff. Here you could see that we connected to CAN bus in a immobilizer system, and from this we could open, close car, open, close windows, see the statement of media system, and so on. Well, how could we connect to the CAN? We could make it with many hardware stuff, but we choose USB-tin. It's open source, and you could see PCB and other information in the site. So today I'll show you a little bit later some demonstration, and I use for it two USB-tin connected in a loop. So to make this network or close, we should use these two pins, which enabling the 120 ohms resistance. One moment. So our CANToolz is a graphical. Well, the graphical part is just maybe POC for demonstration how you could use. It's also have API, and you could control traffic over the terminal if you like. But I prefer buttons because it's easier, and it's you could understand much when you see things. So I'd like to show you the video from the PhDs, which were made in Moscow in last May. So we get our car in a ground floor and give to people possibilities to hack our BMW 5 Series, and it was really interesting. Also, we show how to use our CANToolz. One moment. One moment. Yeah. So how you could see, we could manipulate lights, windows in a little while, yeah, and other stuff, trunk, and so on. Also, the car engine are turned off because we couldn't activate it in a conference. And it's all made by CANToolz, CAN bus, and USB tin, and it's for now it's controlled wireless. So we connected our USB tin to Raspberry Pi, and after that, Raspberry connected to our Wi-Fi network. So it's some remotely stuff. Also, it's made with some music, so we create new model for CANToolz to use MIDI commands which are activating the exact CAN packages, and they're going into the CAN bus. So we get music and our MIDI commands. So after the conference, I think you could see the whole video with the sounds, and there are music with blinking and other. One moment. One moment. Well, in CANToolz we have many models, and we could use fuzzing, we could analyze, we could dump traffic, we could replay traffic, we could find exact packages which we need to replay to, for example, close the door, open the door, activate the alarm, or disable the alarm, and so on. So how I say, it's have GUI, and it's worked by little Python server, so you could connect to CANToolz over the web. And the CANToolz is made in a Python. Well, it's not interesting stuff. One moment. Well, and the most helpful stuff for us that we don't just writing the numbers, we understanding the statement of packages, which well, one moment, yeah, we see how which part of package is the ID number, which is the exact command, and so on. So we see how frequently some bytes are in package, and we could understand that one moment, that, for example, that side is ID number, and this is command, and this another stuff. So we could write our dumps in a readable format for save exact package. Yeah. So, and I would like to show you some demonstration how exactly the CANToolz works. One moment. Well, no. Well, doesn't matter. It's just how I started the CANToolz. I used the models in example, and just a little bit change it for demonstration. So all what I need is just a web browser. Oh, one moment. Yeah, here you see two running CANToolz servers. So it's one for first USB and second for second. So now I'll replay from one USB to another sniffed traffic from the BMW, and we have two traffics. Traffic of noise, so we just connect it to CAN bus. Don't do anything, maybe just turn on engine, for example, and no more. And read the packages till the 5 or more minutes. So we collecting the packages of sensors and other car stuff without actions. And after that, we should find the exact package, for example, for closing the door. And it's one package. And in a car, in a maybe minute, you could get thousands of packages. So how to find exact package what we need? Well, I'll show you. One moment. Oh, one moment, I'll restart it because USB tin are connected wrong. Yeah, now both of them are started. So I couldn't see. Well, let's make one of the USB tin as a car emulator and another the normally USB tin. So first of all, we should upload the dumped traffic in our first CANToolz. I'm not sure if you see that. Is it okay? Oh, okay. So now I'm getting some noise traffic, and it contains 7,000 and more hundred packages. And after that, I just should to replay it, but I decrease delay because it could take some moment. So we are replaying it. And play. Yeah. And it's not replaying. One moment. Uh-huh. Oh my god, my computer couldn't do it with a big screen. One moment, he has some lags. One moment. Well, it's now playing, but how you could see, it's the second don't see now. One moment. Well, unfortunately, it doesn't work. I don't know why. Maybe some wires are broken here. But it looks like... Okay, well, if I couldn't do it that way, I could just add it in a buffer. One moment. Yeah, but I would like to show one moment. I know that it's working. I done it 5 minutes ago. One moment. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's a problem with my wires. Because it just worked. One moment. Well, now I just load data which I'd like to send. couldn't see. Well, I think it's better to give me 5 minutes and let's take some rest for 5 minutes and I show you. I think I show some screenshot from the testing because I couldn't right now understand why it's going wrong. Well, let's continue. So we could see that I connected the two USB pins by 3 wires, and I think it's now exactly why it's not working. Well, it's connecting by the CAN high, CAN low, and the ground one. So after that, I just loaded the packages like you saw and replayed to the another USB tin. And you could see that, one moment, here you see some sniffed packages when you're pushing current status. So it's how the USB tin working and how the CANToolz working. So you just connect into the CAN bus in a car and see sniffed packages, but you should know the frequency of the CAN bus. So it's most of the time it's 500 hertz. So here you could see differences between dump of noise and the dump of the lock action. So when you're putting the button to lock doors, there are many packages, many new packages will be in the car, but we need exact the one package which are closing the door. So here we could see some RPM packages. It shows us how much RPM your engine have in that moment, and many other packages of, for example, temperature or other. So here we could see the using differences when you're choosing packages which we could see less times than the RPM. So now we could see our exact package which are closing the door, and the length, the packages which are maybe giving some temperature information and other stuff what we don't need to. One moment. So now we see the messages which are sent with that ID code. So we could get all the package and understand which messages will you you get. So when you have many thousands of packages, you just use our search and see exactly what you want. One moment. Well, here you in this output you'll see the changes in that packages, in that package, exact that. So you could understand what has happened with that sensor, for example, if it changed or not, and how does it changed. So you could say that it's statement of, for example, doors, and you see that, oh, it was closed, it was open, or it was closing, it was in process of closing, for example. It's not interesting. One moment. Oh, and here we are using the search by ID and getting the messages from the RPM. So we could understand which RPM was in a car when you're dumping the traffic. So, and here our package which show us that we sent that comment with this message to close the door. So just what we need to make is find the differences and between the first and second buffers and get the one exact package. So we should say to the CANToolz that we need just one action to find our packet. Well, and here we could see the differences after we pressed the button. So we could watch activity of car, what is done after we make. So which sensors are activated or which are changed things and other things. No, well, it's the same. Well, I think it's all main things, and if you like, I could, if anybody interested, you could come to me and I'll show you the demonstration. I'll fix it and show in, I think, 10 minutes. So it's all main things what I'd like to tell you. So if you have questions, you're welcome. No questions? Okay.
Thanks, Michael. So did you see any security features on the bus system that prevent basically like these injection type of attacks, or like are you aware of anything in that direction?
Please, could you hold this way? I didn't hear you.
Oh, so are you aware of any countermeasures like on the bus on filtering bus segments or any like firewall type aspects? Or can you say
yeah, of
something
course.
about that?
We see it, and we know that the car have not one CAN network. It have more than one. It's one, for example, for the engine system, another for the media system, and maybe another for other stuff. So we have many ways to go from one network to another, but it's searching. It's about searching vulnerabilities and finding some maybe code execution stuff in the firewall system. So which you see in video, it's connected. The USB thing connected to the network in the media system. So the media system connected to the lights, to the windows, and to the trunk, for example. But we couldn't manipulate from that network to engine. We could stop the engine, but we couldn't send direct messages. We just could make some DOS.
So is it more filtering or is it some authentication? So can you say something about that?
I know that's the packages from the OBD is about filtering. So when you are connected to OBD, it's filtered by firewall. So you could just get information about a car, and if you're authorizing in a firewall, you could go through the OBD and send some comments. Yeah, and about engine, I think it's the same way. So
are these standards, or can you point to something that describes these features? So are these some standards, or can you point to some standards, or so who made up these protocols, like the authentication you explained? And
well, I know that there are many programs, some of them open source, some of them not. For example, to flash some systems in a car. So I mean the UDS or other. So first of all, before you're flashing this system, you should authorize, and it's software sending not just over the CAN bus and or the other buses the authorization packages, and we could sniff it, and after that we could make the same things which making by the, for example, official BMW software or unofficial hacking tools.
Thanks a lot.
Any questions? Okay.
Thanks, Michael.